I like the Suns tonight. I like them laying 6. I thought that spread was fat for how bad they've been playing this season early on and how good Minnesota has looked.
Not so fast.
Midget.
Yeah, little guy. Hey, not so fast.
This is the first game of Booker, Beal, and KD. This is their debut together.
Yeah, that's fucking beat. Fuck Bradley Beal. He is the worst. And I'm officially off of the Suns tonight. I honestly might even fade him. Justin Herbert, I'm just going to say it. He's mid. Dak Prescott, he's a coin respecter right now.
Yes.
He is. Jameis Winston now.
I feel like he could go in the GOAT category just because he's Jameis.
You could tell last night. Kent State had no business winning that game. They were never winning that game. Shit bets. I cannot believe what my eyeballs witnessed on the court last night in that. What the fuck, dude?
Took Nick Bosa over 0.75 sacks. So Baker's screwed. The offensive line is screwed. Nick Bosa is going to terrorize them.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Monday, episode 374 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Javon, presented by Pickett Sports. If you're not tracking your bets on Pickett, grow the heck up in 2024. Figure it out. Be a more responsible bettor. Be a better person. Just grow the heck up and start tracking your bets on Pickett, the best UI UX out there for a bet tracking app. Me and Javon use it. Why not join us over there? Great app over there on Pickett. Okay. Javon, pretty good weekend from the boys.
Pretty solid.
So myself, we take that. A couple squad ride W's. We can go over those in a moment here. Pretty decent NFL weekend. An okay weekend for college basketball. I think actually pretty good for CBB as well. But let's hop right in. Let's cut the shit because we got a lot of games to talk about today, Javon. Let's go over the weekend recaps, weekend squad rides. The Zags were an atrocious wager. That was probably one of the worst bets of the season. I hope it is because they did not belong on the same court out there with UConn. They spanked them on Friday night. But bounce back with UConn at -5.5 on Saturday, Javon. Seeing the backup QB get announced and then the line not really moving much gave me a little bit of confidence there. And the UCLA Bruins took care of business and destroyed Boise State on Saturday. And then the Bills absolutely took care of business on Sunday and took care of the Cowboys in a spot where the public was all over Dallas, all over Dak Prescott after what they saw them do to the Eagles. That was a square wager. That was a moose shit bet. Look at us. Bills ML, they get it done. Love to see it. And looks like James Cook coming to life, Javon. He has absolutely been dominating and been a major part of this offense, having some rebirth, some new life from the Bills, Javon. Are you back in on Buffalo right now?
I mean, it's hard not to be. They're just such a much better team when Josh Allen doesn't have to be an absolute superhero. That's been their problem for really the last couple of years. The reason why Josh Allen turns the ball over so much is because he has to throw 40 times a game and make every single play. So if they have a reliable run game that they can rely on, not just against, I don't know, mid teams like they play in their division, like the Jets and the Patriots, if they have one they can rely on when they play the big boys, like the Cowboys, they physically dominated that game, just like we saw the Cowboys do to the Eagles. So, I mean, if they can do that, that makes life so much easier for Josh Allen. So, I mean, they look fantastic.
Yep, the Bills are back. Like I said a couple weeks ago, this team's going to win out. They're going to make the playoffs. They're about halfway done. Let's see if the Bills can finish the job. They are cooking with gas right now. As we get a Len Bong subby, let's freaking go, Lenny. Let's go, Len. And then Ron, right off the rip. The dynamic duo, Scottie Pippen and LeBron. Ron Muxclam coming in, giving out a subby as well. W's, gentlemen. That's how you start off on Monday. That's how you start off a BTL. Right. The vibes are up. The winners are coming. Let's keep recapping this W weekend, Javon. We'll go over the NFL plays from this weekend. They were pretty solid. Slow start here for me, at least. And then I'll obviously played a couple other options, too, this weekend that smacked. But for the weekend preview, it looks like I went 4-3, Javon. You got me, though. 5-2. Great work besides the Packers. Everything else, though, even the Pats were hanging around, only lost by 10. Everything else, pretty solid reads from you this weekend in the NFL.
Yeah, W's. Had to absolutely gouge my eyes out watching a little bit of that Panthers-Falcons game. That was possibly the worst football game of the year. But, I mean, that's why you take the under in those. But, yeah, W's. You had some good reads this weekend. Shout out the Cooper Kupp Masterclass, leaving them open from your little square.
Still don't understand it. And we'll get into that in a moment here. But back to Malik coming in with a subby as well. What's up, Malik? W's, just like this NFL Week 15 preview that we did for you guys on Friday instead of Thursday like we typically do. But still seeing green there. Love to see it. A couple other plays that I ended up taking this weekend. Looks like I was on Minnesota +3. That ended up pushing. Hilarious. Now I know why none of the books were trying to offer the +3.5. And if they did, it was -130 or some places even -135, which typically it's -120 or -125 or -130. Weird. Should have grabbed the hook. Should have bought it. Didn't, and we push. The Saints and Lions moneyline parlay, about as free as it gets. I don't really know if it gets freer than that, guys, but these two-piece greasers in the NFL, they pay, they play. So let's keep our eyes monitored on those. Really good play there this weekend. Carolina +3. They won outright that game. I don't even know if it should count, but it does. The Falcons, man, they could not figure it out or get it done, and Carolina ended up winning that game outright. And then the Jags +3.5, which I'm pretty sure you had as well.
I did take that
too,
too,
up here on the screen, but that one hurt last night. That was a moose shit bets. The Jags had no business being +3.5. The Jags had no business hanging around with the Ravens. Not even like the Ravens played their best game, but they played pretty good. And it was never really close. Never really in doubt there. It is what it is. Javon, great work, though, on the NFL recaps. Let's keep pushing. Rumor has it the NFL sprints we crafted up a couple weeks ago is looking pretty solid, Javon. People are talking People are asking questions.
Have some life.
Every day. I know the chart is not updated yet, Chad, so let's take a breath and relax. But we're looking pretty sharp on this four guys or Javon, huh?
Yeah, and I mean, I think James Cook is already green. I don't know if I can do math, but I'm pretty sure he's already green. What do you have yesterday? 179. So if my math is correct, that is right, close, maybe over by a yard or so. So shout out to him. I mean, absolute masterclass. Like I said, I was a big James Cook guy going down the stretch because I thought they'd have to rely on him to be successful and get themselves into the playoffs. I didn't know it was going to have to be right off the rip like this, though. So he is literally Barry Sanders. Chris Godwin. This was the one game where, frankly, I expected him to not explode and kind of do nothing. And what do you know? He looked like literally Megatron in this game. So, I mean, he is nearing that line too. And I guess the other one, we had Tyreek, which is DNP now, which kind of sucks. But him, Desmond Ridder is at 2 out of the 3.5 touchdowns too. So we'll see if he keeps getting one a week. That'll be good. And then you have the Ramsey pick in there, which is a toss-up. So who knows how it's going to end. But these two gentlemen are cooking. No pun intended.
And then how are we looking on the other two Geysermans? We hanging around? We doing okay?
Yeah, all right. I said, what's his name? Not Stingley. But yeah, you have the Stingley underpick in there. And then we have Desmond Ridder, who's got 2 touchdowns, need 2 in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Which is hilarious. Hilarious that he had a passing touchdown in that game yesterday because it was a little pop pass. Which shout out Arthur Smith. He is a troll, bro. That was so funny. I mean, I bet on Bijan to get in the end zone, which that'd be touchdown scores, but I'm not even just bitching about it. That was just funny because he had Bijan in the backfield and we're doing a jet sweep pop pass to Cordero Patterson with Bijan as the lead blocker. That was just hilarious.
Bijan, man, he's been a troll all season as well in fantasy. I feel like just absolutely teasing. All right, looks like I should not have pivoted from Gibson to Terry for the best bets for a tutty. It was always Terry. He got it done. Gibson is washed. Njoku got it done though, Javon, and then you had a couple guys cash as well. No complaints.
I mean, I'm not going to hop on here without mentioning the hat trick from the best tight end to ever play in the National Football League, Sam Laporta.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get him up, chat. Clap it up. Clap it up. He deserves it. Seriously, stand up, chat. Chat, stand up. Round of applause for our guy.
He's just the greatest of all time. Literally
the greatest
player
of all time. In any position. It's not even just tight end at this point. It's greatest player in any position.
I mean, yeah, he just might be. He might need multiple Go Jackets at this point. Put him in the hall. He might have to have his own hall with just how good he is. I mean, he made us sweat a little bit for yards, but I mean, good Lord, 3 touchdowns. I mean, he's just incredible. You should be standing clapping. That'd be
amazing. Cash for you, and you're not on your 2 feet. Grow the fuck up. Grow up. If Stroud didn't exist, Laporta Offensive Rookie of the Year. Some are saying that he probably still should even win it, maybe.
Some are saying if Stroud wasn't a QB, it would be a closer competition there. But
I hate those arguments, though. It's like if a really good other player wasn't the person. If he didn't exist, then sure the other person would win. It's like, okay.
Pretty much.
I mean, Stroud probably deserves something. Okay, he deserves at least a handshake. Probably deserves that award too. That always goes to QBs typically. And then Gabe Davis masterclass. Sure, Alex. Gabe Davis in big games. You know who to target. Okay. We move. We groove. Let's keep pivoting. Let's keep talking, Javon. Let's go over the Steam Crabs, which is also a little Hail Mary and 5 guys recap. Goods, run that shit, man. All right, there's about 700 things I could do with Steam Crabs for today involving the Commanders game, but we're going to keep it to what hurt us all the most. Okay, this hurt all of us. I know you guys were tailing this shit. I know I had sneak units on it. But either way, Jade Knott, he stung. I'm not even mad about him, though. We'll go ahead and scroll through this and then pivot. That's a 4 out of 5 prize pick slip. Tails all this time for the 5 guys entry. And chat, we're going to spend even more time on it this week, trying to perfect it to get you guys a 5 out of 5. But that's not what we're here for, Javon. Get that slip off the screen, Goots. Let's pivot. Let's move on to the real issue here, okay? Memphis takes care of business. The Lions take care of business. UCLA takes care of business. And then we pivot, and we go to the Manders game, Javon. Manders-Rams. Knew the over wasn't going to hit in the first half because there was just no offense, especially from the Manders. And the Bills, of course, who were also playing at the same time, which was the last final Infinity Stone of this parlay, Javon. They were taking care of business. We weren't worried about them. The Bills, it was always the Bills, I'm out. Come on. But it's the Manders and the Rams over. Okay, and this had no life the entire game except for the fourth quarter where they started to tickle. Okay, and this total became live. And even Gooch sent a text on our group chat and said, hey, we're going to get a legacy over here. And then right after that text got sent, it was all downhill from there. This game got ugly. Not only did the Manders, throw a bomb to Terry McLaurin after pulling Sam Howell out of this game on the half-yard line and ended up moving backwards every play to not score a touchdown there to give us more life and take 4 minutes off the clock. There was a lot to talk about here, Javon. What I'm most mad about is typical Ron Rivera. It always comes back to him. It really does. Our long snapper, Cameron Cheeseman, sure. Yep, arms are crossed as always. Cameron Cheeseman, Javon, he's had the yips since before the season started. He had the yips in camp. Everyone was talking about it, pretty much asking Ron, why the fuck is this guy still on our team? I'll tell you why he was still on our team. Because Ron made the call to move up in the draft and fucking draft a long snapper a couple of years ago in the fucking 6th round. Okay, so he's too stubborn to move on, and he's sticking with this guy, Cam Cheeseman. This guy has been rolling punts back like he's fucking bowling all season, and he rolls one back to my guy, Tress Way, who blocks it like a fucking hockey goalie, like the study is, Javon. And the next thing you know, he's got a fucking helmet in his face. Next thing you know, he's concussed and out of the game. Next thing you know, Tress Way, I'm asking, is he going to be okay? All right, this is just absurd. Enough is enough. Thank goodness they finally moved on and released them. It's been all season coming. And I never want to root against someone not having their job or, getting fired. But I'm going to be honest here, guys. Cameron Cheeseman deserved to get fired before the season even started. He's lucky he was even able to cash paychecks throughout the entire year. And the only reason he was is because Ron Rivera is such a fucking clown. He doesn't know how to manage a single fucking personnel group. He can't manage a single thing. Hence why Cooper Kupp is running around wide open in the fucking end zone all game. The week before, Tyreek Hill, the same shits. And then, of course, the icing on the cake here, Javon, was that the Manders they finally punch it in after spending 5 fucking minutes on the goal line, and we're knowing that the over is probably not going to fucking hit. And then I'm thinking, all right, I got the over 49 straight, whatever. At least I'll cash that here on this extra point. I was even surprised to see the Manders not go for 2 because they've been going for 2, down 2 touchdowns all fucking season. And Ron decides when our long snapper is at his worst that now he's going to play conservative, and now he's going to try to go into OT here and tie it up if we can get another touchdown. And what the fuck happens, Javon? Oh, shocker. Cam Cheeseman bowls another snap back to our fucking holder, and the kick gets blocked because it was a shitty snap. It all comes back to Cheeseman. It all comes back to Ron. He is the worst coach in the NFL. He deserves 0 flowers for anything. He is a shitty coach, and he has been stealing money from this organization for the last 4 years. The overall comes back to him, chat. If you're looking for somebody to get mad about or pin on the Hail Mary losing, it's this motherfucker right here. This guy. He deserves it all. Okay, so he lost our bet last night. He lost our bet. He lost our fucking Hail Mary, Javon. It all comes back to Ron. It really does.
Yeah, piss. Shout out Ron. Shout out him using 2.5 minutes to try and get a yard on the goal line too. Absolutely insane.
They were there for 4 minutes. They got there with 6 minutes left. I'm thinking, holy shit, they're on the half-yard line. Not halfway through the field, not halfway down the field. They're on the half-yard line with 6 minutes left. They can do this here. They could tie this up. They're on the fucking half-yard line. QB sneaking. What are we doing? And then they move back every single play.
It's insane. That's absolutely insane.
If they would have gotten in earlier, the chance for a field goal to cast over was way more likely.
Yeah, it really was.
Had so much they could just run the clock out. There was literally 2 seconds that could have saved and got us a field goal possibly, and it was 1 second behind on the game clock. Play clock.
Yeah, I did get a picture with them in fucking Arizona during the Super Bowl, and I acted like it was the coolest thing ever. Sure, Richie, I did. But at this point, I'd look Ron in the fucking eyes and tell him he's a new shit coach, and you know what he'd do? He'd look back at me and say, yep, I am. Everyone knows it.
Yeah, as bad as the Commanders and Ron Rivera screwed it up too. I don't want to leave the Rams out of this either, because that, first of all, I mean, shout out the Rams kicker. I don't even know how to say his last name, Haversick or whatever. He missed the kick too.
He's gonna be cut today, anyways.
Yeah, and then Kyron Williams fumbled for 2 times in the first quarter in Commanders territory too. So it was kind of tough all around. Obviously, Ron Rivera centerpiece, but the Rams were not helping much either.
Fuck you, Ron Rivera. Fuck you. All right, we can move. W's. Let's do a little giveaway. after all that piss. Okay, why not? Javon, congratulations. Little king of the board. Win for the kid. He's now on the leaderboard there, or in the win column, I guess you could say. I mean, I really didn't put up a fight this week. Somehow had some legacies with a UNLV first half ML, which is fucking crazy. And then lost with Gonzaga there on that alt line. Javon, good win. We move. Nothing to write home about for either of us that week, but we take it. Actually, you were up 1.76 units. I tip my cap to that. That's a great week. Awesome. Good win, Javon. Guys, we'll go ahead and pick a winner through the tweet from last Monday here real quick. Let's see who was dropping the milk. W Goots. Just scroll down and see if you can open up all the replies and just pick a guy who's looking at you funny.
They're open. I'm not making the same mistake.
All right. Let it rip, Goots.
There we go.
Let it rip.
Pokemon. Garrett Timmer.
Oh, Garrett. Sure. Let me write his name down real quick.
Yep.
Garrett Timmer. Garrett, bro, are you watching right now? Or are you just about to get free coins in your prize picks and just go about your day? Either way, you're getting free promo on your prize picks. All right, chat. If you guys have no idea what the heck's going on right now, if you're asking yourself why the heck you're not getting prize picks promo, all you got to do is go to this tweet that we just posted this morning and put a little milk emoji or milkman under it, or put a little crab under it if you're backing me this week. And whoever ends up with a better 5-0 card, hopefully up the most units, is going to end up winning somebody some promo in chat who sides with the winner. Okay,
we might have an emoji gate going on because there's no emoji.
Emoji gate?
No, there can be an emoji. It's okay. He gets it. It doesn't have to be the emoji. Okay, everyone relax. It's not rigged. Okay, we're gonna give him the freaking promo and we'll run it back again on Monday. Let's all take a fucking breath. Okay. Goodness gracious, people going bonkers for some promo. I don't blame them. All right, Dubs. Guys, if you want to win some prize picks promo, go to this tweet on Book It Behind the Lines right now. It's probably the first tweet up. And drop a crab, drop a milk, drop something in chat, and maybe you'll get a chance to win some coins next Monday on here. Okay? We got some subbies coming in, Javon. Love to see this. We got John Mola coming in with a subby. We got Portable Muffin, 57 dropping a subby. Love the name, love the energy, love the sub bang. We got EJ Willie coming in with a subby. What's up, Willie? How we doing, Beast? Let's go, boys. W's. Guy who gambles coming in, giving out a subby. That's my fucking guy. And he gambles, Javon. And we got Tolerance coming in with a subby as well. 3 months, newbie. Love to see a Tolerance. Let's make that shit 6 months coming up soon. All right? Fuck yeah. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. Javon, we've done the giveaway. We've done the recaps. Why don't we cut the shit and dive into some plays for today, huh?
Why not?
Let's hop right in. You want to start with some college basketball?
We can start with some CBB.
Sure. We'll do some college basketball, and then we'll talk a little bit about Monday Night Football. We got 2 games to talk about in football today. Kind of hype. But let's start with college basketball, and let's go over what we learned this weekend, Javon. Memphis, they're legit. Hilarious. Another wagon on Wednesday goes down. That might have to be a system play that we start fading, Javon. Clemson, undefeated on the road. They take an L, and that one was sweaty, but it was always Memphis in that game. If you watched it, they dominated, especially in the second half. They got it done. Is this team someone to be reckoned with? Is Memphis about to be ranked? Are they a team who you've got your eye on down the stretch?
It's definitely one I have my eye on. I guess we say that every year after they come out with one of these performances against a really good team where they get their upset. So, I can't say I'm buying them yet because they do this every single year, and then they start to regress back to some really shitty losses. But, I mean, they look good. I mean, defensively, you always know they're going to be there because they're so athletic pretty much at every level. They can switch. They're versatile, everything. The problem is just sometimes they get into, YMCA ball where they can't score pretty consistently. So, wasn't a problem against Clemson, which credit to them. That was a massive win. We'll see if they can do it for the entire, end of non-conference and end of conference season. We'll find out real soon because I can tell you that YMCA ball is about to be tested come tomorrow.
Okay.
So good luck with that.
Sure. Crabs, your Eastern Shore boys today. Oh, we're going to talk about it, Nikki. Don't you worry. That is a short spread. Memphis, they got it done, but maybe nothing to write home about. We will see how this team continues to develop. We know they got the bodies. Okay.
Yeah.
Baylor,
they play tomorrow, right?
Who they got?
Tony Bennett.
That is the worst matchup for a team like Memphis. Yeah. That is going to be brutal. At UVA.
Not great. No, it's in Memphis. I mean, they
Okay.
at least got that going for them. But
All right.
that's
Maybe they got a
tough one.
chance. That's going to be tough. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me the points if they're even going to be getting points. All right. Baylor absolutely got destroyed by Michigan State this weekend as well. Hilarious. W Jinx tweet for me talking about Michigan State that I ruined my weekend. They didn't. They actually came through for once and respected coins, and it looked like that one had some anger behind it. Tom Izzo not taking his foot off the gas. Love to see it. They took care of business and destroyed one of the best teams in college basketball. So that one, like the Michael Jordan meme, Tom Izzo took that personally, getting roasted over the last couple of weeks. The boys came out locked. We knew they had the talents. They just got to put it together. Michigan State has plenty of talent and great players on that roster to make a fucking run in March Madness like they almost do every year out of nowhere. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again this season. Don't count out the Spartans. They put on a show this weekend. We got Bronny James playing his second game this weekend. He's got his work cut out for him. 0 for 2 from 3 in that game. 5 points, though. Career high for him. W's. Offense is not there. They're saying his defense is great. Sure. Obviously still a freshman, a lot of room to grow, but we'll keep you guys updated on Bronny James and what he's doing in college. Rooting for him, but he's got some work to do to live up to that hype. That's all I'm going to say. And then Javon, 2 other points. Purdue and Kentucky getting ginormous wins this weekend. That Purdue game, oh my goodness, that was epic. Zach Edey holding it down. The Purdue guards doing what they had to do. Legacy performances from them. Plenty of points to go around, and Purdue pulled it out late and held on for a nice win there. And then Kentucky getting a big-time win against UNC. Okay, and UNC crept back into that one and almost pulled off an upset, and Kentucky almost pulled off a hilarious Kentucky melts that we've seen plenty of, but they held on, and they got a big-time dub, which is something we haven't seen from Calipari's squad in a couple of years. So maybe it is changing a little bit. In Kentucky, Javon, very impressed by both these squads.
Yeah, I mean, that's guard play out the ass on both sides. Really, really good down the stretch. I mean, that was a crazy game. And I'll tell you what about Purdue, too. Like, if they have any sort of consistency with their guards, there's not many teams that can beat them. I don't know if they're going to get that just yet, but when Braden Smith looks as good as he does, that's a tough matchup for anybody.
Yes. They've got plenty of weapons to go along with Zach Edey. This could be Purdue's year, chat. I was talking about a little bit last week. We know they always melt. They always find a different way to fuck it up, but this could be the year. They have no excuses this season with that talent, that roster. All right, let's dive into some plays for today. W's, chat. If you guys are in here, drop your favorite play of the college basketball slate today. It ain't much, but it's honest work. We got some options. We got some games today. We've even got some games going on right now, like Louisiana Monroe and Jacksonville tied up at 40-40. Any live bets for the people drawing in that one?
Can't say there's any live bets in that one. Not for me.
Okay. Let's move. Let's groove. Let's talk about an old wagon, an old friend, College of Charleston, laying a fat 15.5-point spread here, Javon, against an old enemy, Coastal Carolina. These guys steal my coins. I'm smart enough to stay off of them at this point. Lean College of Charleston because that spread is insanely fat, and this team got off to a pretty bad start this year, but they should be pretty solid once again this season, and I think they're going to continue to keep their foot on the gas down the stretch, hence why there's a 15.5-point spread here at home against a Coastal team that has really taken a step back this season too, but Coastal steals your coins. I'm not fading them in college basketball, and no thank you. I do lean Charleston wagon, though.
I'll fade them. I'll do it for you if you don't want to do it. You know this game already happened, right?
Yes, I do.
And when
and
it
just like
overtime.
they always do, they kept it close. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were favored by 4.5 in that game. And they did lose outright, but that's a 20-point swing just about to this game. 19-point swing. After they Charleston won by a point in overtime.
Huh. I don't think it was a point though, was it?
Charleston
Didn't they end
won
up
by 1.
spanking them in OT? Or no?
No, it was 84-83.
84-83. Huh. Okay. Yeah, that's ridiculous. The Gen POD College of Charleston first half. Per sources, people are talking. Okay.
Yeah.
DeGen would love a one-liner about why he went first half as opposed to full game. But I could definitely get behind the College of Charleston wagon, and that spread his stats. And maybe it's because Coastal hasn't played in almost 2 weeks. Interesting. All right. You're going to lay it. Full game.
Yeah.
Not even overthinking it.
Not everything.
All right.
No. That's
Let's hope Brain Smith is absolutely wet from 3, like he's been. I don't know if you saw the other day, but he had like all of his family come in from Australia. They took over the whole fucking stadium. It was sick. And then after the game, he went up there. They all had like the Aussie flags up, and he was celebrating with them. Pretty cool. Chad, don't let Rain Smith get hot. One of the most underrated three-point shooters in college basketball. First true road game for Coastal. Yeah, just a terrible spot. 10 different reasons why it's a terrible spot for Coastal Carolina. Why don't you go ahead and lay with College of Charleston? Sure.
Yeah.
Anything in South Carolina State, Nashville?
I mean, I kind of want to lay it with Asheville there too, to be honest with
Whoa.
you. They've been they haven't had many opportunities. I think they have 3-4 D1 games at home, but they haven't covered a game at home yet this year. And they're coming off of a game where I took them the first time against Auburn. That's the last time they played, just about a week ago. So I mean, obviously a different level of competition there, but I came away from that game feeling a little better about their defense than I kind of expected at points. So against like a very undisciplined offense in South Carolina State, who's been, I don't know, relatively pesky, not so much on the road. I just think they smacked them too.
Okay. We move, we groove. What about Quinnipiac and Holy Cross? I'm not seeing that one up yet on the screen. We'll stick with it,
Yeah.
Oakland and Michigan State. We'll go in order here. You laid it with Sparty after that performance, or are you thinking about fading Sparty after that performance?
Yeah, I mean,
Thoughts?
I want nothing to do with the game because if you're fading Sparty, you're taking a ridiculous ATS wagon so far this year. So, I mean, something has to give there. But
It's a lose-lose. Yep.
yeah, I mean, in no way am I ever thinking about laying it with Sparty after that performance. One of the biggest games they've had, definitely the biggest win they've had so far this season, and it was very emphatic to say the least against a really good team. So now you're a couple days after playing an Oakland team who's been really, really pesky, and I do not want to get the slightest bit involved.
Nope. UNLV luckily does not play today for our eyeballs. We don't have to watch them play. All right, let's keep moving and grooving here. Maine and UCF. Javon, any leans in Maine, who is sneakily 8-4 this season?
Yeah, I'm laying it with UCF.
Whoa,
That one too.
15.5?
Yeah, now with the 16, I guess it looks like. But
Whoa.
I think UCF's guards are going to have Maine's guards in shambles. Like the couple of games that you look at where Maine has not really scored much, which a lot of them outside of like a couple random good performances against like USF and Presbyterian, I guess you could say, on the road. Like a lot of them have been at home, and a lot of them have been against teams that really want to pressure them. So like Charlotte, they were full court pressing them for the entire like first half of that game. That was early in the season, and that's why they ended up with 52 points. Columbia was doing the same thing as well, kind of picking them up and then playing really hard ball pressure, and they scored 56 points in that game. UCF, all of their guards are really good defenders, so I think you're going to give Maine hell in the backcourt. So, like, I don't think they're going to be able to score much in this game. And I love to see the line moving up with the total moving down. I think it's just a UCF defensive masterclass. They win this game by 20.
Okay. Maine's only real good player, in my opinion, is this Tynes kid who transferred from Montana State a couple years ago. He can hang a little bit, the junior guards, but if you're saying that this UCF team is going to give them fits, matchup wise from their guards defensively, I do agree with you that spread is pretty fat for this UCF team. It's not like they've been playing great. In their last game, they're coming off a loss to Ole Miss. So, yeah, I could definitely get down with UCF. Lean that way with you.
Yeah, Maine's
all right.
strength of schedule is also putrid.
I mean, yeah, they've been playing
It's like
the worst
this
teams.
is-
Yeah.
Their schedule, I mean, the best team they played is USF, and it's not really debatable. So, like, they're going to get a little shock going into Orlando, I think.
Yep. 100%. W Crabs, W Javon, W Laporta Legacies, W Fat Girls Inc. Sure.
Dubs.
We're doing great, brother. Happy Monday. Awesome. Let's keep moving here. We've got University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Okay. Against Marist.
Sure.
Looks like they're getting 9.5 points here. A little bit confused as to why the Shore is getting only 9.5 points in this spot, Javon. I don't really understand it. I know this team is a little bit pesky and they're tiny, and so is Marist. So maybe they're just going to match up pretty well against them. But that spread has come down from 12.5 to 9.5. And it's not like Maryland Eastern Shore has done squats. They've even lost their last 4 games in a row and only covered one of those barely against DCU. Sure. If you look at what Marist is doing, I mean, they are 7-1 ATS. I think they now have the best record ATS in college basketball. And they're on a 4-game win streak where they pulled off a pretty good upset against Iona, who was a little bit overvalued there, but still a big-time win at Iona. Impressive. Bucknell they beat, Manhattan they beat, and the only win I'm really impressed with was the one at Dartmouth where they won by 10. That is not an easy place to play against a team who's very smart. Impressive wins for Marist, who is on a crazy ATS streak, but that spread is trickling down from University of Maryland Eastern Shore, plus 12.5 to plus 9.5. I'd back the Shore, getting almost 10 points here to keep this one close. I don't know if I'm going to get to the counter, but definitely lean that way, and the splits look good too. Reverse line movement for the Shore.
Yeah, this is another interesting defensive matchup because the Shore, not gonna act like they're like prime press Virginia, but they play a little press. So for a Marist offense that is played pretty primarily in the half court, I wonder if that's going to give them a little trouble. So I don't know that Marist is capable, even if they break the press pretty quickly, to play a little more sped up offensively in the half court. So maybe that gives them a little bit of trouble. It is maybe a little strange to see that total start to creep back up a point or so, up to 132, which I don't know. Maybe that just means that Maryland Eastern Shore starts to pick up a little bit offensively themselves. But I kind of lean with a little Shoreman here too.
Okay. Yeah, give me the Shoreman. Give me the points. We might need them. Let's move to Quinnipiac and Holy Cross. In chat, I promise we're going to go over the bowl game here soon. Okay, I've got plays. We've got plenty of time. All right, 2.5 or 1.5 hours. We will get to it. Okay. Quinnipiac and Holy Cross here, Javon. I think the spread is a little bit short for Holy Cross, but I'm not really in a rush to back them here at home in this spot. Any thoughts, any bets, any opinions on Quinnipiac against HC?
Yeah, not much for me there. I'll leave that to you.
Dude, this Quinnipiac team is bad. They cannot keep getting away with it. Holy Cross, though, they're worse. They are worse. Gun to my head, need a winner in that game. I'm taking Holy Cross. I'm taking the points, but I'm in no rush for it. This Quinnipiac team is tough to watch. I've watched them more than most should this season. I've watched them play 3 games already this year. They've got a couple decently sized bodies, but these guys can't shoot, and they're so inconsistent and sporadic. Would not be surprised if they lose that game outright on the road at Holy Cross here. Let's move on to a little bit of a better game now. I guess we'll have to wait. Let's talk about Morgan State and Campbell first. Anything there?
No.
Duquesne and Bradley. This is a pretty solid game here. Two pretty good mid-majors going at it, right? This is a neutral site game, chat. They're being played in Ohio at the LeBron James Arena. Sure. So neutral site, they'll be fooled here by either team, in the spreads. Make sure we keep that in mind, that it is a neutral site. Duquesne did beat them the last time they played, 78-70. Bradley is on a rare 4-game losing streak. You don't see that very often before conference play starts. Usually Bradley a little bit better. And Duquesne looks like they've gotten back on track recently, Javon. They've won 4 of their last 5, including some pretty solid wins at Marshall, against Irvine, St. Peter's, and Ryder in there too. So Duquesne, a little sketchy, not covering. They're 4-5 ATS this season. I'd probably lean Bradley here with the points. I don't love that it moved from +3 to +4 most places, but if I see the spread go back to +3.5, I will be intrigued. I think this Bradley team is much better coached, much better defensive squads, a veteran team. Duquesne, a little streakier. They've got Day Grant, who's one of the better mid-major players in the country, but who knows what he's going to do. This Bradley team, very well coached, defensive-minded. I would like to back them in this spot if we see a 3.5 float around.
Yeah, I don't know. With Bradley, I'm just starting to wonder, defensively, are they really that good this season?
They haven't been in the last 4 games.
I know. And really, even before that, they didn't look fantastic, I guess you could say, either. They're just kind of skating by. They looked all right. They were playing teams that couldn't really score outside of Tulane. I don't even want to say held to 77 points. It's still 77 points, but they look decent. It's I don't know. And when I look at this game, Duquesne, they're coming off of a really slow-paced game against St. Peter's where they really had to play a lot of half-court offense and didn't really get to play their game. They're obviously not shooting as well as they want to because they're playing teams like St. Peter's the last handful of times out that really limit everything they can do from there. And on paper, Bradley's the team that should be able to do that. But I see a 143.5 total, which is giving me a little bit of pause, especially on a neutral court, which is pretty interesting to me. So I probably lean over here, if anything, and say that Duquesne and Day Grant are going to light them out from the perimeter. So that's kind of how I see this game going. I don't know if I want to get cute with Bradley. I know they're off of a handful of losses, and we expect them to be better. They're probably going to be better at some point in the season, but defensively, I I haven't seen it. So like against Duquesne, when I think this is a pretty big get right spot for their offense, I don't know if this is where I want to jump in.
Okay. Looks like the over is getting 61% of bets and 93% of handle. And we are seeing that total, which does look a speck high, moving up. So maybe you're onto something there, Javon. People in chat are saying there might be some injury concerns. I'm looking right now to try to find them and see what is going on. What is the news in this game? I'm going to scroll through Rothstein and see if he is finding anything. But let's move. You got any plays in Wake Forest, Delaware State? Probably not, right?
No, nothing there. I'll be paying attention to it though. I want them to dominate that game. Keeping tabs on Wake.
Sure. Keeping tabs, keeping receipts, as always. Murray State and Little Rock. Okay, here's an interesting spot. Little Rock has been a little bit better than I expected this season, and they've been coming through in sharp spots relatively. But now they are a underdog at home against Murray State in this spot, which is interesting. Usually Little Rock is getting way more respect at home in their home arena, and that's typically when we back Little Rock, and they typically get it done. But at home tonight, they are actually getting disrespected a little bit, in my opinion. I know Murray State, better program, better name, might be ahead of them by a couple spots in the Ken Palm. I don't even give a shit. Them being a favorite, moving from -1 to -1.5 in the spot on most books is enough for me to at least lean Murray State with Little Rock coming off a big-time win where they put up 93 points against UTSA. Murray State, not great, okay? But they are coming off of 4 losses in a row, and I thought it was weird to see them as a favorite here, even if they have that big brand name of Murray State.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not taking anything in this game. I think Little Rock's been the dream team for the Sharps for a while now. Now they're good enough to the point where they can't really be extremely sharp in any game. Now they're on the other side of it come Murray State today, so maybe fading them's the play. Kind of with you.
Looks like Connor Hickman is out for tonight's game against Duquesne. He is their second best player on their team. Some could say he is their best player on their team, but Lee is second in points per game. So that is an out. No wonder why they've been struggling. Looks like he didn't play the other night either. He's their glue guy. I'm off that game. I'm off because I think that spread is ridiculously short with how bad they've been playing without one of their stars, and I'm going to go ahead and sit that one out.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I like Murray State on the road, by the way, if you couldn't pick up on that. You like anything in that game?
No, I'm good. Absolutely good.
Okay. Nothing in Evansville, although I'm going to go ahead and put this on record. They can't keep getting away with it. I think that spread is hilarious, seeing Evansville be a 7.5-point favorite, and I would not mind taking a stab at the University of Tennessee Martin here in the spot.
That's what I was going to say. I think UT Martin is more than live in that game. It's not even just because they can't keep getting away with it, but like UT Martin, they're good. And Evansville gives up. They've been very fortunate because they've been giving up plenty of open looks from three to a lot of teams that can't shoot. And UT Martin, they're not the greatest 3-point shooting team, but they have guards that can do it in a variety of ways. So like if we're talking about this game, it's going to be played on the perimeter. UT Martin can certainly hang, and Evansville's been great overall. They've covered every game at home so far this season. I think they're 3-0, 4-0, one of the two there. But
yes,
I think they match up. UT Martin matches up pretty well in this game to keep it close. I think this is a game that I wouldn't be shocked to see it go into overtime.
Okay. Taking a stab at Tennessee Martin getting 7.5 points. Depends on where you look. 7 here on the Green Book against an Evansville team that has zero business being ranked 8-2. Sure, they've gotten the wins. They've earned them. Yeah, I bet. But a lot of the wins have been against Mooshit teams. The other ones, I can't seem to make sense at all.
No.
That win against Bellarmine in that last contest, impressive. Honestly, I can't even deny it. It is. And this team is 7-2 ATS. They're 4-0 outright at home. They're 3-0 ATS against the spread at home. This Evansville team, they can't keep getting away with it. Got to start looking to fade them. Maybe tonight against Tennessee Martin could be the spot. Okay.
Yeah, and like I was talking about, giving up plenty of open looks of teams you can't shoot. You know what Bellarmine shot in that game from 3?
What? 40%? 20%?
40% would be generous. 5 of 31. 16%.
Okay.
On 31 shots.
That's not going to cut it. How's UT Martin shooting?
I mean, they've been shooting much better. They've had a little tougher slate of competition, so it's a little deceiving. But, I mean, they just came from a game where they competed and I believe covered the game on the road against NC State, which was really impressive. Which again, it was a guard show there for them. So I think they can hang in the game. Which realistically, I don't even think they need to shoot from three consistently in this game to win. It's just like I think it'll even out for Evansville. It'll be everything.
Tennessee Martin is 27th in all of D1 college basketball in 3-point percentage. Maybe they could take advantage of this weak perimeter defense from Evansville, who cannot keep getting away with it and has no business being 8-2. I'm sure the college basketball gods have that game circled, and they're going to be looking to take care of that.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at this game too because I'm looking at a game where they shot 16 of 37 from three and still lost the game by double digits. That was against McNeese, who is one of the shockingly better 3-point defenses out of the, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, mid-major teams. I have to mention that McNeese is a wagon again because they're just so good. They beat Louisiana Lafayette, which is a massive game for them, and now they have a little 2-week layoff before they go to Ann Arbor for a game that I couldn't have said before the season I was like really excited to see, but they might have a shot, and that would be absolutely insane.
On the road at Michigan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see how they play that game. That'll be interesting.
Don't let them know. Hey, I am seeing some McNeese respect on my feed. Finally, I feel like this weekend and today even, I know our guy Mid-Major Madness had them in his top 25 mid-major rankings. Love to see that. They deserve it. They deserve it. We don't need to go into the character ethical issues from their coach and if he's a good person or not. We're just talking about ball, folks. Will Wade has turned that program completely around, whether he's a piece of shit human or not. He has turned it completely around. Got to tip your cap, and McNeese should not be taken lightly. That team could beat a lot of schools. Maybe they will pull off an upset against Michigan. That'd be crazy.
That would be insane.
Memphis -3 tomorrow against UEA. A-Board, you know what to do, brother. You know what to do. Okay. Awesome. Let's finish up these plays. A couple more. Southern Miss and Lamar, I believe, is a game. Sure, that's up there. I lean Southern Miss. Probably not going to get to the counter, but I am seeing them up to -5 now, and they've been playing pretty bad for a Southern Miss team that's typically pretty mids in their conference, and they haven't gotten to play yet, but a little underwhelming, underperforming from Southern Miss overall. But they did get a couple good upsets in early December or late November against Milwaukee and UAB, but it really overall has not been a great season for Southern Miss. Lamar, on the other hand, just cashed for us the other night against Louisiana Monroe. Sure, can't forget about that. But they opened up a dog in this game and then have now moved to +4.5 in this spot, Javon. And they've looked much better overall this season, I'd say. Thought it was a little weird to see Southern Miss -4.5. I know they're a more respected program, I'd say, than Lamar in basketball, but not by much. Are you looking at Southern Miss at all on the rep?
Yeah, I'm debating it. Tell you what, because I mean that move. I mean, I saw Southern Miss open up as a dog themselves in this game and see it up to -5 against a Lamar team who is coming off a massive win. Southern Miss is pretty much exactly the opposite. They just got 20-pieced by McNeese on the road. So it's a really weird spot. And a lot of the reasons why I took Lamar last week with that line is because I thought it was weird considering how poorly they'd been at home to this point. So I don't really know what's up with the line, why they're up to -5, and it doesn't really make that much sense. So I'm kind of leaning into it. It does make a little bit of basketball sense too, though, because, again, another basketball reason why I took Lamar in that game is because they have a couple of athletic bigs that I thought would give the immobile bigs of UL Monroe a little bit of problems. And you got a couple guys for Southern Miss in there who I think are going to cause them problems, be a little better of a matchup. So, like, in theory, I guess they match up a lot better than Louisiana Monroe does. So I don't know. That's a lot of respect on that line move.
Okay. Lean Southern Miss. Don't know if I'm going to get to the counter there. Anything in Jacksonville State and Tarleton State? Two small schools who I think we've kind of, enjoyed betting on and talking about in the last couple of years. Jacksonville State, by the way, incredible comeback in football this weekend. Holy smokes in that bowl game to pull that off when they should have won that game by 50. Incredible. Had to mention it. Tarleton also has been a wagon for us over the years. And now we're seeing Tarleton land 4.5 here at home against a Jacksonville State team, Javon, that's coming off of 3 straight losses. All right. Tarleton coming off of 4 straight wins, looking pretty sharp. Are we trying to get sharp with Jacksonville State here on the road, grabbing the points in what should be an extremely low-scoring game? The total, sure, it's up, but it's still extremely low, 127.5.
Yeah, I think I'm good. Tarleton State seems to be a pretty popular pick today. I don't know if I want to be on that side. The team on a 6-game winning streak. 2 of those are not E1. Yeah, 2 of those are not. What's up?
Let's take Jacksonville State with the points.
I know. I was framing it because we're getting a lot of Tarleton love in the chat and just in general on Twitter and everything. I've seen it quite a bit. So I mean, they're, I don't know, up to -5. They won 6 games in a row. Jacksonville State's been putrid. So I mean, it seems like probably the most obvious play on the board. So like I don't want to take Tarleton State, obviously, but I don't really want to get involved with Jacksonville State either. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm staying off. I'll leave that one to you if you want it.
Yep, I'll bet it for you. Sure. Give me Jacksonville State. Give me the points. We might need them. All right. We've got UT Rio Grande Valley and Chicago State. Anything there?
No.
What about Sac State being a favorite against UCSD when Sac State's only won 2 games this season?
Definitely a little odd.
Yep.
For sure.
Definitely looking at Sac State today.
Yeah.
Sac State's 2-7 is a favorite, and they've lost 4 of the last 5 games. But if you look over at what UC San Diego's doing, I mean, they've also lost 5 games in a row. And although they were dogs in most of those, they were not pretty. When these teams play, it looks like Sac State got the best of them last season. The year before that, though, it was UC San Diego, and that's the only matchup history that I have. This total's come down from 139.5 to 137.5. I feel like that's a good sign for Sac State here at home. And it is a little bit weird seeing them as a favorite when they're behind UCSD in the Ken Palm, although they are home in this spot. I'm leaning Sac State, and I might get to the counter with them here at home if that spread moves up anymore.
Yeah, it's weird because I figured this would be like a short UCSD favorite spot because like UCSD has played a tougher strength of schedule if you just look at the teams. So I can understand like a little bit of disrespect, but to see them as a dog in this game was a little surprising. They have been pretty bad on the road or away from home to this point, so like I get that part a little bit, but it's definitely a little weird. I agree.
Yeah, I would say go ahead and give me Sac State. All right, Jot. Detroit Mercy is 0-10 since Antoine Davis has left. They've not won a game. Kind of sad. Not going to target them or that game at all against Loyola Marymount. I'm good.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then Eastern Washington, Cal Poly. Anything there late night?
No, I got nothing on both these late nights.
Or Portland and Fresno? Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Fresno looks a little easy. I'm not really in the mood to be fading that team as they're continuing to try to figure out their rotations, their minutes, their new pieces out there on the courts. They're starting to improve a little bit, and I do believe in that program and their coach. Love their coach, but I'm good on that. It looks a little bit too easy on Fresno. I'd stay off that game. All right. Yeah. Let's pivot. Let's talk a little bit about Monday Night Football, but I want to start out with the bowl game. Okay, that counts kind of as Monday Night Football, I guess, although it's starting up here in about an hour. Javon, ODU. Afternoon. Yeah, literally Monday afternoon football. ODU, the Monarchs. Don't let them get hot. It might be too late. People forget this team beat Virginia Tech in football last year. Absolutely hilarious. This year, they got to a bowl game. That's big for ODU, a program that is on the rise, not just in basketball like we talked about, but with football too. They got to 6-6. By pulling off a crazy win in their last game just to get to this point. I think they carry that momentum and beat a Western Kentucky team today that's without Austin Reed, their starting QB, without 3 of their starting offensive linemen, without a bunch of pieces on the defensive side of the ball. Western Kentucky has 0 motivation. Western Kentucky had a lot of expectations this season and did not deliver, not even close. They barely even got a fucking bowl game. Now, do they have an absolute stud and the best player on the field tonight in Malachi Corley? Sure, they do. And he's going to be playing. And Javon, I love that you targeted him because they're going to be trying to feed him and increase his draft stock. That's why he's playing in this game. So I do not hate squaring up for Kitch and taking Malachi Corley squares or props at all. But with that being said, there's no fucking way I can back Western Kentucky, who moved from -4.5 when this line initially opened a couple weeks ago to +6.5. Okay, and this line was at 3.5 this morning too, Javon. And I guess the limits opened up for, sharp bettors to be able to bet on the bowl games this morning. And as soon as that did, they got absolutely shit pummeled with bets, and ODU moved up to -6.5. So with that being said, it's got to be ODU here, but it's not going to be spread. It's going to be a money line parlay ODU to get it done, barely, probably going to be sketchy, probably not going to be as easy as it looks. Parlaying them with tomorrow's bowl game, UTSA ML, who is an extreme favorite, okay, against Marshall, but that's Frank Harris's last game. He ain't losing that shit. He's going to get a win, and it's not a hot take. They're minus 12. Give me a break. Going to parlay those two together on the ML, ODU ML, UTSA ML. It's minus 139. It's not ideal. It's not plus money, but it's a winner, and I'm going to go about my deck.
Yeah, I can get down with that. I couldn't be caught dead back in Western Kentucky on the spread today. That's one that I will gladly let by if they find out a way to pull some magic and win this game. But yeah, I'm backing Corley because, I mean, the only reason he could be playing in this game is to improve his draft stock, and he obviously wants to finish what they started. But he's playing in this game so he can continue to set records, so he can look better. And yes, he got Turner Heldon, who's a son of Clay Heldon and the nephew, I think, of the head coach. So there's ties there. They know what they're playing with. But Corley, they're going to force feed him. They don't really have another choice. They're short a bunch of different guys. Yes, he may throw a football as well as Trent. But I can tell you, if Malachi Corley was not very comfortable with Turner Heldon throwing him the ball, he would be sitting this game. So I don't really believe in Turner Heldon. I don't think anybody really can. I believe in Malachi Corley, and I believe that even game script wise, when they're trailing, it's set up well for Corley to tweak in this game. So draft stocks no sore after this game. That's kind of the goal. Only reason why he's on the field.
Do they have his receptions up or no?
They do. It's a little greener, which
Okay.
is my concern.
Okay. Sure. Guys, Malachi Corley, whether they lose or not, their mission in this game is to feed him and increase his draft stock. That's really their only goal of this game as we get a Lembong resub. Let's fucking go, Lenny. 12 months. 1 year. Happy 1 year, Lembong. Might have to get Lembong activated in 2K tonight for sweats. Yeah, it's got to be Malachi Corley as the only way to back Western Kentucky in this spot. But another reason why I didn't want to lay the points here with ODU, it's because they've won all their games this year by only a handful of points. Isn't that right, Trent?
Spawns when Malachi Corley gets mentioned.
Isn't that right?
I did not know he was playing today, and now I'm figuring out what to pair.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be in something, and the rest of their team is absolutely dog shit, Trent. I mean, they're all sitting out pretty much, and he's got a third-string QB thrown to him. But like Javon mentioned, the only reason why Malachi Corley is playing in this game is to increase his draft stock. I'm sure the rest of the offense understands that assignment, and they're going to feed him the rock early and often.
Wait, so this is a legitimate read?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm so in, dude.
Yep. Malachi Corley, more than receiving yards, though, is probably what you're going to want to target. That's Javon's play.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to target it with in that football game, but I do have a play in Monday Night Football in the NFL. Javon, if you don't have anything in that ODU game, we can pivot.
We can. Let's move.
Okay. Sure. Let's talk about the Eagles and the Seahawks. Honestly, perfect timing. Curious to see what Trent likes in this game. I do like a square in this game. My best bet, I haven't decided if I want to take a side or total yet because I want to first see that Geno's out, which I'm pretty sure he fucking is. But that spread still being at 3.5 is really weird to me if it's not going to be Geno Smith out there at QB. I don't understand it. I know the Eagles have been playing terrible. I know the Seahawks are barely under 500 and everyone thinks they're a good team and they're actually not. But I don't know what I'm going to do with this game until I know if Geno Smith's playing or not. So one angle I know I can get behind pregame before we know the Seahawks quarterback situation is back in DeAndre Swift to go more than his rush yards. Okay, this has gotten bumped up. DeAndre Swift is going to get fed the ball more tonight than he has over the last month combined because we've seen what happens when Jalen Hurts is out there trying to play and make things happen. He cost them the game. Okay, and they went back to basics this week at practice. The Eagles did. I mean, their social media team was showing it, literally showing them doing high school football drills with captions like going back to the basics because that's how fucking bad they've been playing recently. That's kind of scaring me off of wanting to fade the Eagles in this spot. I'm not going to lie to you because I know a bounce back is imminent. It's coming, and everyone from the public went from the Eagles to the Cowboys over the last week or so, and as everyone's already roasting the Eagles, I'm going to back DeAndre Swift because I think that their coach is going to take the ball away from Jalen Hurts, take the ball out of his hands because he's been fucking them over and because he's hurt and he's not making the right decisions, and they're going to feed their stud running back who has not been getting fed enough against one of the worst rush defenses in football. It's given up over 130 yards on the ground per game in their last 3 games. They're going to get absolutely torched. You know how you eliminate the Jalen Hurts mistakes? You hand the ball to DeAndre Swift and you let him cook. And there's a reason why his rushing yards is so high. It's because he's going to be the centerfold of the offense for the Eagles tonight.
Yeah. Can't hate it.
Whole lot of yapping.
Trent, man.
It's called a sell
I
job,
bet.
Trent. You should try
I
one of those
bet.
every once in a while. You get some reasons for a play. Javon, thoughts on DeAndre Swift?
He is so corp today, dude.
So Corp.
So corp. And I'll tell you what, if I think partially because Hurts is sick or they need to take the ball out of his hands, whatever it may be, this screams that the Eagles are going to run the ball. I agree with the game script. I'm certainly not fading Swift, but this is I see a Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell committee snatching carries
Such a
from
committee.
DeAndre Swift. Like I think that's what they're going to do. So like Swift, I'll tell you the two people who I could certainly not be caught dead betting today is DeAndre Swift and DK Metcalf. The amount that I've seen them after waking up. So like while we're talking about that, there is a touchdown square up. That's 3 of the 4 include one of those guys, and one of them does not.
Ooh.
Devontae
Who's
Smith and Kenneth Walker.
Ooh.
Huh.
Which I don't know that anybody wants Kenneth Walker. I've seen a bit of his under today, which makes sense matchup-wise, but I don't know if anybody wants to take the Seahawks offense to do anything, especially when you have a committee in that backfield, when Jack Charbonnet, who had more rush attempts than him in the last game, against the 49ers and outsnapped him just in general. So, like, I look at that square, and that square is looking at me very funny, and we're talking about the combos here. So I don't really know. That's the square that's looking at me funny in this game for sure. DeAndre Swift does have that weird-looking receiving yards up, though. And I'll tell you what's been cashing. Those little running back receiving yards when they're coming off a goose egg or even less in the last game. They put that square up. So that's if we're taking Swift, maybe that's the way that I would get involved with that. But touchdown square wise, definitely give me the other ones.
Remember we were at the Cowboys game, Crabs, and I was getting frustrated because Hurts wouldn't fucking throw the ball. He had 5 pass completions at halftime. And you were like, oh, well, why would they pass when they are killing them on the ground? And I was thinking about taking Swift's yards this week. And I went and looked at what he did last week. He only had like 40 yards, bro. And I felt like that they were grubbing on the ground the entire game because it was like all committee the entire fucking game.
It was. I mean, that's what the Eagles do. That's what they believe in. But with their backs against the wall, when people are acting like they're the Commanders, they're that bad. I think they give their ball to their best guy today. And I love that it's super high. I love that it's getting bumped up. And I think this is a rare non-running back by committee game. We've already seen one of those this season. Everybody freaked out, acted like DeAndre Swift was back. We're going to get another one tonight. A rare non-committee game, a rare game where they actually feed their best running back because they need a win like they need air. Because people are starting to ask Hughes. People forget the Eagles sneakily got rid of their defensive coordinator this week. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody cares. I don't get
People
it.
are sleeping on that.
Guys, changes are being made to this team. You're not going to see the same old Eagles tonight.
No,
We'll see.
It did get bumped fat. It got bumped like 4 yards from when I went to sleep.
Probably because everyone on
Yeah,
earth is
dude.
taking it. I agree with everything you guys said, though. Yes, the Eagles are a running back by committee. And if you take a running back square from the Eagles, you know what you're signing up for. And I do, unfortunately. And I'll probably be on here bitching about it tomorrow on Steam Crabs. But I got to back Swift, a rare non-running back by committee angle here for me. Rare.
Fair
All
enough.
right. Let's talk about the side. Javon,
Like,
let's
real
just
quick, Javon,
say
You don't
Smith
think
is out. Go ahead.
you don't think AJ Brown's corp is fucked?
Not as much as DK with
I mean, he's
Slay.
always core, but I'd rather back him than DK, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, go ahead, Crabs.
No, you're good. Sides. Let's just say that Geno Smith is out because I'm 99% sure he's going to be.
Yeah,
Javon, if this spread stays at 3.5, let's just say it even moves to 4 because who gives a shit? It's a half a point. Are you with me that that's a little bit weird, a little bit short, even then the Seahawks have had great success against the Eagles in recent years, but that's a little whack. And I can't decide if I want to back the Eagles in a bounce back spot on that short spread or if I want to back Seattle and just not ever thinking and back the sharp spread here, which is taking the points with Seattle no matter who's at QB. We know the Eagles are going to get activated and they're going to wake up. We know they've been hearing the chirps. We know they've been working and going back to the basics of practice like we've seen from those clips. But is today going to be the day the Eagles bounce back, or are we going to be taking the sharp bet on the spread with Seattle plus 3.5?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a chance they win the game and also don't cover the spread. Like I think it's going to be a close game. And Like, to be honest, I don't think that Drew Lock is a significant downgrade from Geno Smith. I think it's plug and play, to be honest, with how each of them kind of fit in the system. And we'll find that out, especially against the pretty moosh secondary. But, I mean, Drew Lock looked good against one of the best defenses in the league last week. So we'll see how it plays out. I don't think the general public has the same opinion as far as Drew Lock goes. So to see the line stick would certainly be interesting. I'll probably be on the Seahawks. The one thing that also helps, which doesn't really have to do with this game, we just saw a sharp home dog get absolutely fucked last night with the same line. And I don't know anybody who would want to go back to the spot after seeing it flop with the Ravens coming in, needing a massive win. Now the Eagles need a win worse than almost anybody in the league on the road against the Seahawks team, who really is not impressing anybody. They're on a little slide here. So, I don't think there's much going for that team right now. But that's a lot of recency bias cooked into the way everybody's going to be looking at this line. So I probably am going to have to go with the Seahawks in this game.
What were
I
you
also
gonna
think
say?
it's going to be
You
what's
say
up?
you don't know anybody that would want to go back to the favorites on primetime back to back.
No,
I
that
know
would
one
want to
guy.
go back to that would want to go to the underdog
there.
because of what we just saw. And yes,
Yeah.
like even before what happened last night with the Ravens, I looked at them. They're two very similar games. Obviously, like the different circumstances quarterback wise, but it's essentially the same line with a road team on prime time against and they're clearly the better team. The road team is in both situations. That seems like a recipe for a 1-1 split to me.
Yeah.
It does. It does. It sucks because the Jags could have won that game last night if they just fucking did their jobs.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
the
know,
Jags are
especially in the
just
first half.
the Jags are just not that good. I think we gotta come to grips with that. Jags to win the division betters are sweating, and they certainly might be if Baker
They've lost
Mayfield
4 in a
has
row now.
anything to say about it. Yeah, next week.
No, I'm with you, man. I do not think they're good. Just like I don't think the Seahawks are good. I don't. That's why I'm scratching my head saying, why the fuck are they getting 3.5 points against the Eagles? But it's a weird spot because the Eagles are finally getting talked about as they should. They're getting talked about like a pretty mid team because they have them. They will bounce back. Maybe it'll be today. Probably not. And Seattle plus 3.5 has to be the sharp play on the spread. Any angles on the total? Are we getting points? Are we taking less tens on Prize Picks today overall? What are we thinking, Javon?
It's a little sketchier because that's like the one that very clearly is going to be influenced even more by the quarterback situation. So like I assume we're getting Drew Lock at this point. I assume we're going to get Jalen Hurts too, whether he's full strength or not. But I see this being a little more defensive of a battle than we've seen. I don't know, the Eagles play the last couple of times. Like I think their defense is going to be better than people expect tonight, and partially because of the little shakeup defensively. They're going to be running a few different things that I think work a little better for them. So I think this is a relatively low-scoring game. Like I like the under. It's definitely moved down because of the quarterback situations on both sides, but I'm fine leaning down under to it, especially because this is a good game after we saw nothing go over last night, certainly in Jacksonville. But I believe overs went 3-0 on Saturday in the primetime games.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I never want to take an over in prime time. I don't care what the trends are. It never feels right. And also, my guy in chats, it might not be a good thing that Slay is out for Seattle today because that's how bad Slay's been playing, where you want to go against him. That's how sorry he's been out there. Might be a good thing for the Eagles defense that he's sitting out this game. We got the OG Crouton coming in, resubbing. Love to see that. Sure. W's. All right. You want to take a peep at the Prize Picks board again real quick?
Sure.
See if you can find some gobs. Trent, any guys you were eyeing on the boards? Any goats you're looking to target?
No, I mean, all I've really got my eyes on right now is AJ Brown tucking us in. But Javon, I want to ask you, why do you think they took off? Oh, never mind, because Geno Smith's probably not playing. I was going to ask why they took off the Seahawks demon squares.
Yeah,
Maybe they're recalculating with the new QB news.
Yeah, potentially. I don't really know.
But I love Jackson Smith in the Jigba yards today.
Yeah,
he's a Seahawks guy.
I saw somebody on Twitter talking about that. I think it was Ahan about that being his POD. I like that angle and the little write-up he did. So it could be Jackson Smith day. Apparently, Drew Lock loves feeding Jackson Smith. He's been peppering him with targets. Definitely could get behind that. Would love to go that route instead of backing one of the goats on that team in the spot. I mean, if the Commanders receivers can feast, if Jahan Dotson can get open for the first time this season against the Eagles, I'm sure Jackson Smith and Jigba can get a couple catches here against this Eagles secondary. Give me a break. They are terrible. They're terrible. Any weird squares that are up, Javon? Any like interception or pass and tutty squares that are looking at you funny? That Jalen Hurts pass and tutty is not making me think he's going to play bad today. If I'm being honest with you. They've got his 1.5 pass and tutties up. That's a little sketch.
Dude, and they have his 2.5 up, which is absurd.
Pass, rush, and receiving.
No, just pass.
We have 1.5 pass.
They had 2.5 pass earlier.
They must have had a demon up for him.
It was probably a demon, yeah.
It was a demon 2.5 touchdowns, and it's gone now. I was just talking about it with Lauren. Yeah, dude, I swear, I think he might have a legacy game.
His pass attempts is at 32. I mean, he's only gone over that one time in the last 5 games. Interesting. His rush yards is at, where is it? 34.5 in this game, but it's always weirdly high, and he never hits it because he's hurt.
Yeah.
I'm not be looking to get cute with that. Just never hits. Passing yards, 241.5, also a little high. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to win this game. Honestly, it might mean that they're going to be losing this game and coming from behind. They might need Jalen Hurts to make some legacy comeback throws in the fourth quarter, right? Interesting. What do those squares make you think, Javon?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely screams playing a little bit from behind, which is surprising, I guess, to see. Can't say I was expecting that on the board this week. But yeah, it's a lot of red. So if you're in a pass-happy script, that's probably not a good thing for the Eagles.
No.
It's exactly what they don't want to be.
Cannot be. Okay. And yeah, it looks like they did take off a couple Seattle squares, but were there any Seahawks you were looking to target, Javon, in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want to do it with his individual lines, but there's a lot of Kenneth Walker under talk today. I would love to fade that, but I'm more so like I'm just getting in the end zone. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna take that combo square with Devontae Smith, which Devontae Smith, like, weirdly, whenever the Eagles are on the road, he is their guy who gets in the end zone and has a big play to break that. So, like, I like the angle for Devontae Smith, but Kenneth Walker too. Whenever there's a weird, I know they're a shorter underdog than the ones they usually like to target, but an underdog with a guy who's in a timeshare in a backfield, just got out-snapped and out-rush attempt, whatever you want to call it, by his counterpart, Zach Charbonnet, in the last game, and that's really been the story since he's even come back too. So it's a strange square to be up, especially when you consider the other 3 include either DeAndre Swift or DK Metcalf, who everybody and their mother has in a slip or some bet on today.
Devonta Smith's got a little bit of Gabe Davis in him, where when the lights are the brightest, he actually plays better. Everyone thinks that A.J. Brown is, like, by far the guy, the best receiver on that team. He goes ghost modes once a month. It's like it's his job. It's like in his contract to do it. Devonta Smith, when the team needs him most, when the team needs, drives to be continued, Devonta Smith is the guy. And I'll tell you what, I've seen that firsthand. This guy skull fucks us every time he plays us in DC. And he'll probably skull fuck the Seattle defense tonight when the Eagles are going to need to come back in the fourth quarter. It's going to be the Smith show, not the A.J. Brown show. I'm with you on that. All right. What else we got, Javon? Looks like we just went over Monday Night Football pretty well. NBA, NHL plays. We got about 15 minutes. I want to save you plenty of time for that because you've been hot on the ice.
It looks pretty AIDS today. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's not the best slate on the ice. Say that much.
All right.
I was just trying to find what to take with Malachi Corley, AJ Brown, and SGA. Maybe Mikey Bagshots.
Mikey Bagshots. Shit.
Do the Panthers let out fucking PG and Indy? That might be it.
I've seen some PGs in chat today.
That might
I've seen
be
some PGs in there. Revenge game.
Super.
Sweats tonight, bro, for Monday Night Footballs.
Mm-hmm.
Dubs. Any other squares, Javon, that we need to talk about in this NFL game? Besides fading some goats and maybe back in Devonta Smith?
Yeah, none that are really screaming my name that we haven't talked about.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see if I can square up and smack one with DeAndre Swift here. The odds are against me. People are saying it's too square. It definitely is. And we'll see how that plays out. Not typically taking bets like this. All right. What's up, Mush? What's the BTL squad ride? Squad ride is en route, my man. Last 10 minutes of every show. All right, we'll get it going in about 5 minutes, my man, Corey. Okay. PG coming off a stinker, and Kawhi just dropped like 40 versus the Knicks. PG about a feast. Yeah, maybe he was saving his energy for tonight against his old team. Huh. Clippers won 7 in a row. Only C-3 tonight in Indiana with Halliburton questionable. Huh. Well, that tells me Halliburton's not playing. There was also another NBA game that was looking to me funny, but came to the conclusion. It actually involved your Miami Heat, Javon. Came to the conclusion that, I thought the Heat were a play on the spread. They still might be, but I know Minnesota and Anthony Edwards is potentially out tonight, and that's probably why that spread's a little short. Also, I don't know if you guys saw the tweets about Anthony Edwards talking to his baby mama on the feed today, but they were crazy. Did you guys see those?
Did not.
No shot. He's getting fired up like this.
I did not. Can we bring those up?
He pretty much was just telling his side girl to get an abortion and was not having anything about it over text.
Bro.
And just kept telling her over and over again.
Crazy.
And the text got released because she posted him on her IG and it made him look terrible.
Oh.
Really bad. So I don't want to fade Anthony Edwards if he does play with that shit going on. And I don't think he's going to play anyways because I'm seeing he's iffy. So I'm off, but I did lean Miami initially, Jamal.
Fair. I think somebody's coming back from the Heat. I don't know if it's Bam or Hero or both. So that would probably keep me off, if anything.
Okay. All right.
Bam and Hero. Word in chat.
We got a sub bang from Delanzo. Swift, Jackson Smith, combo TD is freer than a Costco sample, he says. Okay. That's not making me want to take DeAndre Swift tonight, but we will move. Thank you for the sub bang, brother.
I'll tell you now, Desmond Bane points free.
Dude.
Is this like Jokic free?
No, I didn't realize how fucking corp that was when I gave it to you.
I woke up and I saw a taco for every single individual stat.
That is a whole different story, my guy.
What are we doing?
I knew it was over as soon as you sent that text. I was so pissed, bro.
That was unreal.
Bro.
Unreal.
And I didn't even get to renuke it because I was at a fucking restaurant I didn't get to renuke Laporta because I was at a fucking restaurant that takes your phone.
I bet, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, I was in rat piss.
That is crazy.
And I was gonna make Laporta first TD. I was gonna make a video and everything, and I fucking couldn't do it.
Unreal. Absolutely unreal.
Were you like itching?
I was
like itching. A freaking addict going through withdrawal when you didn't have your phone?
I didn't know what Jokic was doing either, so I really had no idea.
You were itching. That's what he was doing. He's putting that hat on.
That's what he's doing. That definitely gets the trophy for the most corp square ever.
Yeah, it does. That was the most corp possibly of all time.
Unbelievable. All right, chat. We got to start moving a groove, and we got to start getting this squad ride.
Can you address why ODU is moving? Because everyone's bitching about it.
Sure. ODU, which, by the way, the play in that is ODU moneyline parlayed with UTSA moneyline tomorrow in a -139 grease piece. ODU, the spread is moving to -6.5 because Austin Reed and a bunch of linemen for Western Kentucky are out. Austin Reed's their star QB, and 3 of their linemen are out, along with a couple other defenders. And when that line is that back to 4.5 right now?
4.5.
Oh my!
It went to 5.5, and like the past 10 minutes, then went back down to 4.5.
Oh no!
Moving crazy.
Oh no! Oh no! I don't know what is going on with that. That is a new development. I need to look right now. Dude, that could be really bad.
Siobhan, I was at breakfast yesterday, and we were walking by your house to get there, or your apartment to get there, and we're walking to like near next to the Star.
Yeah.
And 5 buses roll up in front of us on our walk, and it's the UTSA Roadrunners. Ready for the Frisco Bowl.
Let's fucking go.
They're getting fired up, man.
And they came
dude.
Came into the restaurant we were at, and they looked locked.
Dude, they might win by 30.
You might have to pull up tomorrow.
Frank Harris ain't losing that game, dude. He ain't losing that game.
This coming out
Tell
party
you right now. He ain't losing that game. He's going out with a bang.
might be
The
lost.
Chote 30U Frisco Bowl Mega Max.
Wow.
Yeah, we need it.
The restaurant narrative could be the difference.
Different restaurant.
Oh, man. Well, I can't find why the spread's moving back, but it's probably not a good sign for ODU. But that's why we parlayed them on the ML. This team doesn't win by 7 points anyways. They've won every game this season by less than a touchdown in conference. So they win by a couple every single time. They're going to do that again tonight. UTSA, ODU, moneyline parlay, yes. Still sticking with them.
So
Not giving
ODU money line is a parlay piece.
Yes.
That's valid from both of you.
I don't know about Javon, but I'm on it. I have real coins on it.
I don't want anything to do with the game, so I'm staying off. But I certainly ain't betting Western Kentucky.
No.
Unless it's Corley.
Now, I'm not going to act like I'm doing backflips and I'm super excited about that spread getting pulled back to -4.5 when it was a -6.5 when we started BTL. That's a little bit weird. But this play was on their ML anyways, and I'm not wavering. I still think they get a win. I don't care.
Okay.
Fair.
I parlayed them with UTSA tomorrow. You could parlay them with the Eagles tonight if you want to square up for Kitch.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I'm going to be on the Eagles tonight. Leaning the other way.
Yeah. What would Kitch do, bro? Kitch would do that.
Yeah, Kitch would
Pretty
probably
good
do
for
something like that, or he might just say fucking throw a rack on the ML straight. Kitch loved doing that back in the day. He'd say, you know what? Save the two-piece greaser parlay. That makes too much sense. Let me just go ahead and put a rack on a -300 and get $200 back. Sure. I miss Kitch, man. God, he's probably grilling up a filet right now. It's probably coming out of the freaking grill looking fire.
It's probably gas.
God. All right. Dubs, that is not good. That line's moving back, but chat, we do not waver. We stay locked in. ODU ML parlayed with UTSA tomorrow. That's our little early week bowl action. Okay. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Javon.
Old Dominion and Eagles are both -192. Exactly.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Dudes? ODU down to 4 on the offshores? No. No.
Shit.
No. God, the Monarchs. This is what happens when you bet on fucking butterflies, chat. This is what happens. I now have butterflies. I'm sick to my stomach. Oh. All right. Still holding. They're going to get a win. They're not going to cover, but they're going to get a win. Western Kentucky has zero motivation. They are playing their third-string QB, and they have no reason to win this game. ODU playing their third bowl game ever. They get a big-time win against Western Kentucky, who used to be their rival and kick the shit out of them in Conference USA every year. Every year. We back ODU to get some revenge with their starters tonight. All right? Or literally in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
People forget.
Oh shit, that's in 30 minutes.
People forget that game is in 30 minutes, Trent. Yeah. 30 minutes.
You forget.
Literally starts up on your stream. So you need to get a better on that.
Yeah, you got
Join me on ODU, bro. Join me on ODU.
I'm tapping.
All right. W's. Chats. Let's craft up a little squad ride, Geyserman. Unless Javon has any NHL plays today. Didn't sound like it, though.
Nothing that I love. I'll probably take the Flames. I saw that you were on that too.
Ooh.
But I'm not taking that with any sort of confidence. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like I love the
I kind
spot.
of like the Flames, though.
I love the spot for the Flames. I hate backing Markstrom, who's back in net, coming off a little injury. And this is his first game back in net. And he is known as the guy who is first shot goal every single time he steps in the net. Lord forbid when he's coming back from an injury against the Panthers. So that's one I'm not taking with any confidence. I'm not gonna lie. But I feel like I have to lock that in. I definitely want to. I haven't figured out which ones yet, but Jets props, some SOGs, maybe a point or assist with something to do with their line, because there's still some value on their props post Kyle Connor, because nobody else prior to the injury ripped puck on that team. So a couple guys like Nicole Ehlers have started to figure it out. Josh Morrissey's ripping. I don't think he's up for shots, but he's got that assist prop up there. Cole Perfetti point is a little interesting. So I'm probably going to get involved on the board there. I don't love goals in that game, but Jake Allen is fucking terrible. So it's probably an under game, but not because the Jets aren't scoring goals. So I'll probably get involved in that.
Okay.
But other than that, not much other than just gut feelings across the ice. I think the Kraken beat the Stars, but I don't know if I'm going to put coin on that.
What about back shots? Any read there?
Back shots. I don't know, because like the Flames, they're gonna beat the Panthers. They need to play like relatively low event hockey, which would mean they don't need to be up there ripping or aren't going to be up there ripping. They're just going to sit back, let the Panthers whale them, and hope Markstrom can be solid in that. But I don't know. I'm not sure God asked for that one.
Okay. All right. Chat. It's about that time. Let's get the squad ride cooking. We got plenty of time to talk squares on Surge stream right after this. Okay, stick around. And then Night Sweats tonight as well for Monday Night Football. But Goods, I want to see that train run that shit. Squad ride did pretty well last week, Javon, if I could say so myself. I don't think we only had 1 or 2 losses out of the 7 plays. We take that.
Yeah.
Let's carry that momentum into today for a Monday night squad ride nuke pace. All right. We were just talking hockey. I said we put Calgary in there on the ML. It's probably the best bet on the board.
Yeah.
Seahawks plus 3.5.
Yeah.
Okay. Seahawks plus 3.5.
I really want to
What
put
else, Javon?
I like UCF, and I also like UT Martin. I would love the squad ride UT Martin.
UT fucking Martin.
I would love to
Tennessee
squad
Martins,
ride.
huh?
That's probably, that might have evolved into one of my favorite plays on the board.
Yeah, you were getting hyped talking about that one.
I know.
You're getting
The more we talk about it, the more we looked at it. It's kind of a mandatory play.
Yeah, I didn't know UT Martin was top 25 in college basketball in 3-point percentage.
I didn't
Running against
either.
one of the
I knew
worst
they were
3-point defenses in college basketball.
Yeah, I knew they were good. I didn't know they were that good.
We'll put them on there. Plus 7.5. What was the other play you loved?
UCF.
UCF. Minus 15.5 against Maine. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got Calgary ML, Seattle plus 3.5, UT Martin plus 7.5, UCF minus 15.5. Okay. Going to keep ODU far away from this now with that line movement, and it starts up in 30 minutes anyways. What about University of Maryland Eastern Shore? Put them in there, plus 9.5.
I'm down for that.
Good with that? Sure. Chat, 5 plays, 5 winners. You have 3 minutes. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Lock in your best bet. Lock in your favorite play of the day. Click the right button. We've got Calgary ML, Seattle plus 3.5, UT Martin plus 7.5, UCF minus 15.5, and University of Maryland Eastern Shore plus 9.5. Sure.
Skyhawks.
Okay. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Lock in your best bets. Click the right button. We need a squad ride W, chats. We are 172, 121, and 4. All time.
Way Caleb Martin plus 7.5.
Caleb Martin plus 7.5. Well, Javon said the magic words, and chat was listening. Love to see chat paying attention there.
What were the magic
He
words?
wants to take the Martin boys, the Cody Martin boys.
Oh.
Yeah, Cody Martin.
He does. He told Chad, he said, I want a squad ride UTM.
I do.
Sure.
I don't know.
UTM cake, UTM cake.
with these ball sacks.
Hey,
Don't
I
say it.
prefer watching these ball sacks over NBA games, and I probably need to go get my head checked out, but I mean that. I
Yeah,
do.
it's fair.
I don't know what's wrong with me, but that's just cold, hard facts right there. I wish it wasn't the case. I wish I liked the NBA more. I wish I liked normal things. I know. All right. Yeah, pause. Nobody clipped that. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. We got votes coming in. We got UT Martin locking in votes. I mean, this one might be done already, chat. How many they got? 66?
Yeah,
They might get 100. Chat, I want to see
Love
100 votes.
love it.
Let's see. Go, go, go. Let's get 100 votes. All right. Favorite squad or favorite square, Javon, of this Monday. I know it's early. I know we'll craft up. But is there a square right now that's looking at you funny? Is it that touchdown combo you were talking about?
That's looking at me really funny. I mean, I'll say I like Corley a good bit in the early game, but after that, I like the Devontae Smith, Kenneth Walker touchdown, and then I think I'll probably go Cole Perfetti point for that Jets game.
Ooh.
That's the one
Okay.
that's been looking at me funniest. So I'll probably go with that.
Okay. And looks like we're going with UT Martin.
Any
on
king
this
of the board
spread.
player?
Ooh, Goots. Goots holding us accountable today, huh?
That's what I
Javon,
need.
Got to.
you're coming off a W. I'll let you go first. You got any plays for today?
Skyhawks it is. Plus 7.5. I feel like
Okay.
it's my duty to put that in the king of the board.
Okay. Gosh, what am I going to put in there? Can I put that parlay in there?
Yeah, whatever you want.
I can put that parlay in there. Yeah, that should
Yeah.
end. We'll put it in there. ODU ML, UTSA ML. We'll go with that today. It comes out to -139, Goots. I locked it in right before BTL. ODU and UTSA on the money lines. Little two-piece greaser for today and tomorrow's bowl game, chat. My favorite play right now. Okay. We'll get in the lab this afternoon, chat. We'll get you guys prize picks entries. And we'll be on sweats tonight. And also stick around for the surgical stream starting up right now. Trent's going to take you through the slate, give you guys some winners. Okay. And we've got UTM. If you guys don't know them, you will after tonight. +7.5 for the squad ride, Javon. Love to see it.
No.
Love to see it. W's. All right, chat. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. We'll be seeing. Stick around.